Hello everyone, this is a recording to explain your final project. So before we start into all the details of your project, I want to tell you something very clear about me. So when I ask any of you to draw a house, this is what you do, right? Then you have this drawing, very nice, your house, colorful. So that is what you expect out of the instruction that I give you. Draw a house. However, my expectation of you is not that because you're not 8 years old, right? You're already 20, 21 years old. So my expectation of you drawing a house is something more like this. So this is precisely what happens with your projects, that you want to do things with not enough quality that do not reflect the expectation of already a student of university. So whenever you approach your assignment, the first thing that you have to think of is how can I deliver quality, detail. Yes, you can say, Professor, but I don't know how to draw that. Yeah, but you can look on the internet for tools to do that, right? So you have to learn and you have to improve and you have to find ways to everything make look better, be better, and also ask me as well in order for you to improve. The more you ask me about your project, if you send me drafts, I can give you feedback. But if you expect to do everything on your own, really, I expected your final project to be this little beautiful house, and of course that means you don't get a good grade. So now let's go. Now that you understand what is my expectation out of you to push your limits, to do the best, and so on, let's proceed to your assignment. So your assignment, first of all, you need to understand your final submission will be on the 8th of June. And this one, put it in your brain. I do not accept late submissions. You have time enough to do it. So don't tell me you couldn't submit it on the eCampus because you had an issue. Anything that happens, I don't care. Don't look for anything else, right? So having said that, so you have the submission, so you have two documents. You have this one, which is the final project instructions, and you have also an Excel Word. So you have to submit two of them. So let's go first through this one. So in this one, it's a cover page. You must include this cover page, which shows already your give me a minute. This already shows here your student name, your student number, and in this part what you're gonna do is very simple. Here you're gonna put what you did. So for example, I did section 1, I did section 2, I also compiled the Excel, I also edited the whole thing. So in this case, what I try to do is fairness for everyone. Okay, fairness. Why? Because sometimes some of you do a lot of work and some of you are just freeloaders that just do the minimum requirement. So because of that, I don't like that. So this one I try to discriminate within all of you who did the most job and who did the less job. Now that happens when teams are not equitable. When teams are equitable and everything works well, you should just put everything and everyone should get the same mark. So I expect that most of you are fair within yourselves, and then you should have no problems about it. Okay, so good. Now let's go a little bit more into the detail of this one. Give me a minute. Okay, this part, grade only. This is for me. This is remarks also are for me. You don't need to fill them. You just need to attach this one. Okay, submitted by, and here, like I said, you put everything and what you did. Now in this case, we have the marking rubrics. What I am marking. This is very important for you to read. Okay, so let's go through it. Let's go very quickly through it. Okay, so first of all, we have, I'm marking you in a couple of things. So in this one, we have the table graphs, calculations, data models, managerial action, and Excel formatting. So there's these things, these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that need to make sure that they are very well done. Okay, so how you get the marks depending if it's, for example, table graph. This one, your table graphs are lacking. You have inconsistency in the data. You don't have graphs, or the graph don't match. You use a pie chart where actually a bar chart will be better, or you use a histogram where actually there is no frequency. So in that case, you get 1 mark, right? Second thing, the table formats are adequate quality. They are easy understood. Most of the graphs are relevant and bring some good insights, but maybe 2 or 3 of them are not that good. Maybe you or one of your classmates didn't do it very well. And then we have the excellent, which is the marks. Okay, the excellent marks. Everything, the table format is unconventional. You're using tools of Excel or even external tools that make it much better. Like I show you with the house, maybe you use another software also to make it look much better, right? So these graphs are relevant, also they're accurate, and they have well, in general, their accuracy is excellent. Okay, so you should be pursuing for this one, not for this one. This one, I don't want you to do it. Okay, this is the horrible house. This is the horrible house. Okay, so very good. Then we have the calculations. You also have to calculate everything. So this one, for example, if your calculations are not right, that means you're using an average when you should be using a standard deviation, etc. Then that is not correct, or you're using a summary that it doesn't fit, or anything that you don't match. Also the same thing, this one, calculations are accurate, there's only some missing points, and there also calculations are all done effectively. You understand, it reflects that the method that you choose was accurate. And the same, that goes together with all the data model and the calculations all go together. So actually these two work very well together, because this is a group actually. Okay, because the calculations and the data model that you choose mathematically to support the managerial actions that you are doing. If you say, well, I want to see who is the bestseller, so for the bestseller I use a max function, I use a sum of revenue, sum of profit, or I want to see over the years how they improve their grades, so maybe I'm gonna use a line chart. So exponential growth, I'm going to look at exponential growth. So all of those things are going to that. Then we go to this, the managerial actions. So the managerial actions, this is, you're going to propose things. Remember, as you did in your unit number 7, unit number 8, you have your managerial action. So means I found out in a pivot table, I wanted to see what's the correlation between the bestseller and the products that are the most profitable. Is there any connection between that? So I use the sum of profit for the products, and then from the salesman, and then from there, then I get a good average, and then from there I start to see, oh, so if I want employees to achieve this, I propose this. So those are the managerial actions, and you're gonna see later in the report. But anyways, in this case, what you want to achieve, what you ultimately want to achieve is that, what you ultimately want to achieve is that these managerial actions, have good analysis, good engagement, and they are real. Okay, if you say, we're gonna fire all the employees, no, in the real life that's not possible. So you have to think of the reality of your implications. If you're not very sure of that because you don't have enough experience, you can consult with me in advance and say, well, we're thinking of maybe closing one shop. As you can realize, there's very little profit, so what can we do? Close it immediately? No, we can say, well, maybe we can wait for 1 year, so I can give you some options for that. So pay attention to that. And then we're gonna look into this one, which is the Excel formatting. So in this one, the Excel formatting. Okay, the Excel that I gave you is a whole mess. Think about it. When you have a company, everybody works in the way that they want. Even your own projects, you send me in any way you want, in any font you want, etc., etc. So this happens the same in companies. They send you all the information, and sometimes they use their own fonts, their own predetermined fonts of everything. So in this case, what you have to do is make sure that